Good evening, my dear JEE 2025 warriors. You were waiting for the JEE advanced sessions to start, and here it is. And this is a very different session because you want to think different and you need to think different because only then you can become an IITian. If you think just like everybody else is thinking, obviously common sense tells us we will get average or maybe even below average score. So that's the reason why we have started this series. Slowly and steadily you will see we will level you up step by step to start thinking creatively, differently, out of the box. The same concept, if you see in JEE mains, might be very straightforward. Sometimes it could even have 5 steps. But what happens is most of the times you can foresee these steps or you can go very linearly. I mean, if you do one, you know what to do. In the next step, you know what to do, three, and slowly you will end up with the answer. But JEE advanced questions, you need to really think. Maybe you will be stuck somewhere. You have to think about something else and you have to think about the loopholes. You have to explore different options. And finally, that problem solving aptitude develops. And it will not happen in just one session, it will happen over a period of time. And that's the whole aim process which we are going to start because this is the #1 JEE English channel in the country. Welcome aboard Thilsri, Tirupati, Darsana, RK, Game Changer, Little One Talk, Lovely, Sai, Star. I hope I'm audible. Joseph, Strutika, everybody, Sutarja, Iman, Jesse, everybody. Yes, keep the link of the session notes. Yes, it will be there. The session notes at the end after a day. Okay. So give us a day, and after a day, you will see the session notes as well. All right. So let's begin with the class. I hope you have smashed the like button and subscribe to the channel as well. If you have not done that, very important, or else you will miss the channel. Where did I see it? When did I see it? So do that because we are going to be very regular over here. Okay, so that's my quick introduction in case you are very new to the channel. Well, I myself have done, my BTech from NIT Nagpur. I cleared JEE Advanced and got almost full score in physics. And then I also have done research from IIT Bombay. And here I am teaching for more than 13 years. Just like every other year, my aim is very simple: to make even a very average student crack this examination. And if you have been scoring well, level you up to score even better, maybe top 10, maybe top 100. So let's begin. And here comes the first question. Yep. So as you can see in this particular question, it seems like we have a cylindrical container with some two walls or two, I would say, plates with some voltage which is connected across those two plates and some current measuring device. There, read the question. This is a passage type of question because I think there are two questions in this. Yes, there is one question where multiple things could be correct, and sorry, one option could be correct, and the second thing is finding the average current. What is it proportional to? So there are, I think, yes, two questions which are based out of this paragraph. There is a evacuated, that means there is no air, it's completely vacuum, cylindrical chamber of certain height h and rigid conducting plates. So this plate and this plate, they are conducting plates, something like a capacitor, and the at the end, and an insulating curved surface. So the curved surface is not a conductor, the curved surface is an insulator. Think of it to be made of rubber. This is metal, this is metal. Okay, number of small balls which are lightweight. I think gravity also is ignored, very important, which is lightweight and soft, are coated with a conducting material. So imagine small teeny mini particles like dust particles. Like dust particles are there, very lightweight, and they're very soft. Okay, and they are coated with some conducting material. Maybe some gold plating is done, silver plating is done. So they become small, shiny, these metallic balls like thing, and they are near the bottom of the plate. Okay, now the balls have a very small size as compared to the height, and a high voltage is connected across the plates V0. Okay, and now, and at the top plate and at minus V0. Okay, and now due to the conducting surface, it's clearly mentioned this is V naught and this one is minus V naught. Due to the conducting surface, the balls will get charged. Definitely, they will become equipotential with the plate. Why? If these tiny balls are having metallic plating, the moment it touches the conductor and this conductor is connected to the positive potential or negative potential, then that potential will make those small teeny mini particles charged. They are conducting in nature, and because they become charged, let's say positive, the positive terminal of the battery will repel the positive charges and hence the small particles will fly off. That is what is happening. Now the balls will eventually collide because they will be repelled by this conductor. They will be repelled and they will fly off, and they will eventually collide with the other top plate, where the restitution can be taken zero because of the soft nature. It is mentioned the balls are very soft and they are coated with some conductor. So when they go on the top, it's soft. So it is inelastic collision. So they just come to rest. Is this understood, this scenario? Okay. Now consider the electric field in the chamber just like to be that of a parallel plate capacitor. Assume there are no collisions between the balls. These balls are not colliding with each other, but only the plates. So think of straight line motion. Interaction between them is negligible. Ignore the gravity. Which of the following is correct? This is the first one. What will the balls do? Will they keep on executing SHM? Will it just bounce back? The balls will just stick? Will they or will they Acha, I think the same charge they went up. I think B and D option by mistake is the same. Anyways, doesn't matter. And the second option, second question is the average current which will be produced in this particular process is how much. So these are the two things. Hello Me24, hi Jesse. Yep. Till this point, have you understood what is exactly happening in the question? Now we'll start solving it. So these conducting balls, because of this battery, acquire a charge. They get repelled by this plate. They fly off straight lines. They do not interact with each other. Gravity is not there to pull them down, and they will hit over here. So imagine this now, my dear students. Just imagine this. If let's say this was the top plate, this was the bottom plate. The bottom plate is positive voltage, the top plate is negative voltage, and then you had these charged particles. This will now acquire some, let's say, positive charge, and what will happen is now they will be repelled. They will be repelled, and because of which they will start moving like this, and they will go and collide over here. They will go and collide over here. But the moment they collide, what happens is they will get stuck. They will basically, inelastic collision happens. Inelastic collision happens. And now that ball is over here. But now that ball is in contact with the negative potential. What will happen? It will gain negative charge. Now that negative charge will be repelled by the negative potential. So again, the same process happens. So you can clearly see it will repel and it will come over here and it will basically again collide over here. And this collision will again be inelastic in nature. Once this comes and collides with this particular plate, again it will become positively charged. If it becomes positively charged, it will again be repelled. So it will keep going back and forth. Hence, in this entire process, what is happening is it is going up and down. It is definitely oscillating. It is definitely oscillating in nature. Up and down oscillation is happening. Does it mean it is a simple harmonic motion? Many of you said, sir, it is SHM. See, just because something goes back and forth, it is not necessarily a SHM, because for SHM, X should be A sine omega t, or force should be proportional to X, or acceleration should be proportional to X. All these conditions should be applicable. How are you so sure that the motion is a sinusoidal function? How are you sure the force is proportional to X? You are not sure. So you can't really say it is SHM as of now. As of now. Okay. So we need to think differently now. Yes, we need to think differently and see whether it is actually a SHM or not a SHM. So I think we have kept a diagram also for this and see what will happen. Now, Anyways, this is another part of that question. I think we'll have to solve it now. Just imagine that particular conducting ball, any one such conducting ball, having, let's say, a charge of small q, having, let's say, a charge of small q. Now, what will happen once it is somewhere in between? Once it is somewhere in between, it will definitely experience a force. Definitely, it will experience some kind of force on it. It will definitely experience some kind of force, and that force will be nothing but q into e. If you consider all the balls together, the total charge will be q into n number of balls, etc. We can do that. So this is the force on any one such ball, and this E is that electric field. And why is this electric field even there? Because this is positive potential, this is negative potential. 100% there is some voltage difference. If this is minus V naught and this is plus V naught, there is definitely a voltage difference, and that voltage difference is basically 2 V naught. Negative V naught to plus V naught, voltage difference is 2 V naught. So because of that, there is a field, and that field, which is nothing but potential difference per unit separation. Per unit separation. Remember, that is the formula. E is dV by dr with a negative sign, but I'm interested only in the magnitude. So field will be nothing but potential difference by that separation. So therefore, E will be nothing but voltage difference, which is 2 V naught divided by the separation. I think the height of the cylinder was given to be h, if I'm not wrong. Yes, I think the height of the cylinder somewhere was given to be h. Yes, that's the height of the cylinder, which is also the separation between the plates. Okay, so from this we can find the force, and from the force we can also find what is the acceleration. So we all know acceleration is the force divided by the mass of the dust particle or that small balls. Force is nothing but the charge multiplied by the field. And what is the field going to be? The field is going to be 2 V naught by h. So this will be nothing but 2 V naught divided by h. So that will be basically the acceleration. Everybody with me? That will be basically the acceleration. Now, let's find out how much time does this ball take to go over here, because the question is on what is the current proportional to. I want to see whether it is a SHM or not. Let's just see what is the time coming out to be. Okay, one thing is clear actually just from this step. This charge, this voltage, this mass, this h is constant. So isn't this acceleration going to be a constant? Isn't this acceleration going to be a constant? And if this acceleration is going to be a constant, quickly think and tell me, my dear students. It is oscillating, but acceleration is, but acceleration, what does it mean? It means it is definitely not a SHM, because for SHM, acceleration should be proportional to the distance. Ooh, great. So I think we have found out the first answer. The ball will execute SHM, 100% wrong. The ball will stick and remain there. That is also wrong. By mistake, B and D options are, I think, the same, carrying the same charge they went up with. So either B or D, basically, that's the same thing. So answer B is correct, because the ball will go to the up, and it will again come down. It will just keep on bouncing back to the bottom plate, carrying the opposite charge that they went up with. Makes sense? That is what we saw over here. If it went up with positive charge, it will come up with negative charge. If it came with negative, it will go with positive. It will always change the sign of the charge, and it will keep bouncing back with an opposite charge. Is this absolutely clear? Yes, Darshana, it is not a SHM. Yep. Response sheet we don't know. We'll have to wait and watch. Okay. Till this point, absolutely clear. Yep. Yes, these are obviously time-taking sums, and don't expect JEE advanced questions to be straightforward. Okay, so B option is correct as expected, but we are still left with the average current concept. The average current concept. Okay, so now what we will do, once we got till here, once we have got till here, the next step of this particular problem, to find the current, we need to find how much charge goes up or down in a time interval. So let's find out the time interval by using kinematic equations. So using S is equal to ut plus half into constant acceleration, so t square. The displacement is nothing but h. speed is 0 because inelastic collisions happen and it resets back to 0 velocity, plus acceleration, we just figured it out, it is q to v naught divided by m into h, and we have t square over here. So from this, well, this h and this h will multiply, it will become h square. You have m, you have 2, and well, I'll just keep it as it is, charge into v naught into basically t square. I just kept it as it is. Now, once these charges go up and down, and we know it is mentioned over here, it behaves like a parallel plate capacitor. Can I not say that the charge is like capacitance into the voltage difference, capacitance into that voltage difference? So therefore, can I not say that the charge is directly proportional to voltage difference, which is nothing but 2v naught? Charge is basically proportional to 2 times of v naught. Is that absolutely clear, my dear warriors? Is that absolutely clear? Yep. Very good. Very good. Awesomeness. Now, what will we do? What will we do? We'll use this. We'll use this over here. We'll use this over here. Therefore, h square m by 2 is equal to, charge is proportional to the 2 times of voltage. So some constant into 2 times of voltage, and then v naught over here, and then we have t square. C is a constant. This 2 will come down. So h square m, 2 2s are 4 into some constant, is v naught square into t square. All these things are constant. Please understand that all these numbers are just a constant, That also means, v naught square t square, if it is a constant, v naught square is inversely proportional to t square, or taking roots, v naught is inversely proportional to time, or time is inversely proportional to v naught. Time is inversely proportional to v naught. Why did I need this? Because remember, I just told you I need the current, and to find out that current, it is how much charge goes per unit time. How much charge goes per unit time? Just now I told you that the charge was some constant into the voltage difference. So it is some constant into that voltage difference. The time is inversely proportional to V naught. The time is inversely proportional to V naught. So that means it's a constant divided by V naught. So constants are there. So we have some constants. V naught goes on the top and it will become V naught square, and that is the current. So current is directly proportional to the square of V naught. Current is directly proportional to the square of V naught. Let's find out whether it is absolutely correct or not. I think the answer is not given here, but yeah, that is the answer. Current is directly proportional to the square of V naught. Did you love this question? Did you love this question? Yep. Did we miss that half? Oh, somewhere we missed that half. I'm so sorry. That half was there. Okay. So basically this 2 would have been there. So if this 2 was there, this 2 will be here, this 2 will be here. And what will happen is this 4, instead of that, it will just become 2. Anyways, we were talking about proportionalities. So in proportionalities, those constants will not even matter. But yeah, I think I missed that half somewhere over here, but I'm still making it look correct. Okay, great. Beautiful question. Loved it, guys. If you loved the question, give me a thumbs up or put up a fire emoji in the chat box. Already. Yeah. Constants anyway did not make any difference. Okay. Ready for the next think different question? Ready for the next think different question? In a photoelectric material having some work function phi naught, which is illuminated by some light of wavelength lambda, which is lesser than hc by phi naught. Okay, meaning that the wavelength is small, frequency is large. Okay, that means photoelectric effect will occur. The fastest electron has a de Broglie. Oh, see, in photoelectric effect, light will fall, electrons will be ejected. That electron is a matter. That matter will have its own de Broglie wavelength, matter waves wavelength. Okay, lambda d is the de Broglie wavelength. If you change the light which is falling by some small amount, delta lambda, then even the de Broglie wavelength will change by a small amount. Can you calculate the ratio of their changes? Looks like a error measurement question, but it is not so easy. Okay. What is the purpose of this video? I mean, I don't know what do you mean by that? What is the purpose of this video? It's a JEE Advanced session. It's to prepare you for JEE Advanced. It's to scale you up. I mean, very straightforward. I don't know what else. There is no hidden motive. Simple motive, just to level you up, just to make you think differently. If that is not what you're looking for, then this is not the session for you. Okay, cool. Now, see over here quickly. Some options are there. Okay, I don't think looking at the options is going to help me. Rather, it is going to scare us out, right? Okay, now let's try to see, is there any equation of photoelectric effect which relates to the de Broglie wavelength? Nothing directly, but maybe indirectly. We all know that the energy of that particular, let me create a duplicate and keep, okay, energy of that photon, energy of that particular photon is that work function plus the maximum kinetic energy. Energy of the photon is hc by lambda, is work function plus maximum kinetic energy. Since this is the kinetic energy of that electron, and we know kinetic energy has the formula p square by 2m, from here, I know that I can do something about momentum and replace it with de Broglie wavelength. Understand this. Momentum is h by lambda de Broglie, this whole thing square, and you have 1 by 2m. Is this right? Absolutely. Yeah. Planck's constant by the wavelength is the momentum, or de Broglie wavelength is Planck's constant by the momentum. So I've used that concept right over here, the concept of matter wave. The concept of matter wave de Broglie wavelength has been used over here. So why not replace this entire thing right now, and this will become h square divided by 2 times m into lambda d square. Okay, so we got this. What can we do now? I don't think we can do much unless you look at the question which says delta. Delta means difference, and if I want to find a difference, why not differentiate it? Why not differentiate it with respect to any variable? How does it matter? Differentiating it with respect to the same term. So here is how it will look. Hc, lambda is below, so take lambda on the top, is equal to phi is as it is on the top, plus you have h square which is a constant, 2m is a constant, lambda d on the top will be raised to minus 2. Differentiate it with respect to the same thing which will anyways get cancelled. Let's say you differentiate it with respect to x, and here also you differentiate it with respect to x. How does it matter? Okay, anyways that dx and dx will cancel. So this will be hc. Lambda raised to minus 1's derivative will be minus 1 lambda raised to minus 2. Is that right? And then you will have d lambda by dx, and then you will have basically d lambda divided by dx. Of course, you have used chain rule. And over here, the phi is a constant. And once I differentiate phi with respect to x, the answer will be a big fat 0. Why? Because constant's derivative is always 0. Plus h square by 2m minus 2 will come on outside. This will become lambda d raised to minus 3. And then you have d lambda d whole thing divided by dx. Whole thing divided by dx. I hope you can see this. Now we are somewhere close to the answer. Not yet there, but yes, we are coming very, very close. Observe now what happens. This dx and this dx will cancel. This is anyway 0. This negative and negative will also cancel. Now we want d lambda d by d lambda. I can see d lambda here. Bring it below. Take all these guys below over here. So see what will happen. Hc is there. By lambda square is also there. This d lambda is going on that side. This h square is going to come below. Okay. This 2m is going to go on the top. Lambda d below because this is negative power. But once it goes on the other side, it will become lambda d cube. Yep, on the other side. Then this is equal to d lambda d divided by d lambda. D lambda from the top has come to the RHS below. As you can see over here, this d lambda d divided by d lambda. See, all these numbers are constants. What is more important is what is it proportional to? So it is proportional to lambda d cube divided by lambda square. Lambda d cube divided by lambda square, my dear warriors. So that is basically this particular option. I don't know why C option and D option look very similar to me. By mistake, I think they have printed the same option. I think there are some printing errors. That's okay, but you get the idea. The answer should have been lambda d cube divided by lambda square. Yes, C and D both are same. Yeah. Is this absolutely clear? Is this absolutely clear, my dear warriors? Okay, very good. Important derivations I have already done last year. You can check out my old series. Yeah, for derivations, if you want derivations. Okay. In fact, I have also done one specialization where all the extra content, which is not there in mains, but is there in advanced, I have done that on this channel. Okay. So if you are on the channel, you can search. I think it's there something like deleted JEE advanced something. If you search, I think you will get that. Let's see. Something is there. Yeah, extra syllabus. See, JEE advanced additional syllabus. Okay, so I have done that. Additional syllabus. Yes, it's called additional syllabus. Additional JEE advanced. If you search, yes, you should probably get it. Yeah, I have done this particular videos. Okay, on that. I think that extra. Yeah, I have done this. See, 5-hour session is there. Complete 5-hour session is there. Additional topics in physics. I have done this. Okay, all the topics I have taught it properly. So please go through this particular class. Okay, everyone. Right. So that was this particular question. Ready for the next question, guys? Beautiful question coming up on your screen. Here it is. Okay. Okay. I think we will have a separate session, Prarthana, on how to prepare for advance. Maybe we can have some kind of a Q&A session or something like that, or maybe a strategy session, or you can just leave a comment so that I can understand what I should include in my next strategy session for JEE Advance. So that's why I ask all of you, please put up whatever is there on your mind, put it on your put it in the comments after the video ends, because I always read all the comments. I sometimes don't reply, but it is there at the back of my mind, and when I make a video, I will try to answer those questions in the next strategy or next academic video. Okay, cool. Let's see. There is a rod of mass m and length a. From here to here, that's the rod, length a. It's free to rotate about a horizontal plane. So the axis is vertical, and a disk is there of certain mass m, and the radius is given to be a by 4. The pivot is at a by 4 itself from the end, so that it can rotate freely about another vertical axis as shown. So think as if there is a rod which can go in this horizontal plane, and somewhere here another axis is there, and on top of that another disk can rotate. So as this rotates, another disk is rotating, like it happens in the adventure rides in amusement parks like cups and saucers or some weird rides which are there. Assume both the rod and the disk have same density, remain horizontal, and an outside observer is observing the rod to rotate with sigma and the disk to rotate with 4 sigma. Okay, then, or 4 omega, whatever you want to call it. Then the total angular momentum of the system about this particular vertical axis is how much? And answer in terms of n. Amazing question. Amazing question. JEE Advanced 2024, you can search just JEE Advanced 2024. There was, I think, Rank Accelerator series or Rank Booster, Marks Booster series. And last year we just called it, I think, just JEE Advanced series. Because if I give names, people forget the names. So just search for JEE Advanced 2024. You shall get it. Okay. Let's see, how do we solve this particular question? Now, the concept involved over here is this. Whenever you have certain body, okay, and let's say this is the center of mass and this is the velocity of the center of mass, and let's say you want to measure the angular momentum, let's say about this particular point O, what you do is basically start drawing a position vector of the center of mass with respect to that particular point, and it has some velocity. So the total angular momentum is given by mass of the body into RCOM, position vector of the center of mass, RCOM, cross producted with the velocity of the center of mass. But that's not all. You add something to it, and that addition is basically with respect to the center of mass, that particular body might be rotating with some angular velocity omega. So you also write moment of inertia about the center of mass into angular velocity. So both these terms, vectorial addition gives you the total angular momentum about this point. This usually is basically sometimes just called as the orbital momentum, orbital angular momentum, and this is the spin because it is spinning about the center of mass, so it is also called as the spin angular momentum. This is usually called orbital angular momentum. Just a name given, you need not have to hardcore remember it, but just telling you. Okay, so how do we use that over here? Now there are two rigid bodies, one is a disc, second is a rod. Rod is an easier thing to do. We'll do it later if you want. I'll just do it on the next slide. So the angular momentum of the rod is just a moment of inertia of the rod into the angular velocity. Moment of inertia of the rod, but remember the rod is pivoted at the end. So it's the mass of the rod, which I think is m, length of the rod, which I think is a, square divided by 3. Do you understand why ml square by 3, not ml square by 12? Yes, yes, it is ml square by 3 because it is at the end, not at the center. And angular velocity is omega or sigma, whatever you want to call it. So I'll just put that over here. So this is just the angular momentum of the rod. But eventually, when I do the question, I have to find the net angular momentum. It will have two terms. One is the angular momentum of the rod plus the angular momentum of that particular disk. So when I substitute, I'll definitely have a term ma square by 3 sigma plus something, and then I will definitely get my final answer for the total angular momentum. For the total angular momentum, I might need few steps over here. So what is this is what I'm interested in now. This part was easy. Till this point, absolutely clear? Give me a thumbs up. Yep. Okay. So now going back over here, trying to find the angular momentum of that disk, I can clearly see that the center of mass of the disk is over here, and the center of mass will be revolving in a big circle. Try to visualize the radius of that circle RCOM will be, this is a by 4, so it will be a minus a by 4, which is 3 times a divided by 4. It will also have some velocity. It will definitely have some velocity, and that velocity of the center of mass will be r omega, r into omega. Here r is 3a by 4 because that's the radius, and the angular velocity is nothing but that sigma. So that's the velocity of the center of mass as it revolves of the disk. Is this much part clear? Yeah. For NEET, this will be slightly on the tougher side, but yeah, out of interest, for the love of physics, obviously you can watch it. These kind of questions will never ever come in NEET, but yeah, the concepts will definitely make you feel very super duper confident. Now coming back, what is the moment of inertia of the disk and what is the angular velocity? Oh, that is given already to me. So when I try to find the angular momentum of the disk, it will have two terms, mass of the disk into RCOM into VCOM plus moment of inertia of that particular disk into angular velocity. Now mass of the disk m, RCOM is basically 3a by 4. Velocity of the center of mass 3a by 4 sigma plus moment of inertia of the disk. Moment of inertia of the disk. What is the moment of inertia of the disk? Come on, guys, my dear students. Moment of inertia of the disk is nothing but mass multiplied by the radius square divided by 2. The mass is m, radius is a by 4, so a by 4 square divided by 2. So it will become ma square, 4 square 16, so it will be 32. It will be just 32. So hence this will be m a square by 32, and angular velocity is given to be 4 sigma. It is given to be 4 times sigma. Oh, perfect. So now just have to add these two terms over here. As you can see, ma square is a common thing with sigma over here. 3 3s are 9, 9 by 16 is there, and here basically you can divide this with the 2, so it will become 2 divided by 16. That's all, to keep the denominators common. So this will become 9 plus 2 is 11, so 11 ma square sigma divided by 16. That should be the moment of inertia of the disk. That should be the moment of inertia of that particular disk. Yes, very good. Yep. Physics is my favorite. Very great, cube head. Awesome. So just have to take this 11 ma square sigma by 16. 11 by 16 ma square sigma. Add these two, you will get the answer. Add these two, you will definitely get the answer. Ma square and sigma will be there. What else will be there over here? Come on, quickly tell me in the chat box. I want everybody to put the answer in the chat box. What is it? It is there in the numerator and the denominator. Yep, come on. Somebody is saying 49. Yes, just check it out. Just check it out. Are you getting it as something 49 by 48? Something 49 divided by 48. Now the question says, it is ma square sigma divided by 48 into that number. What is that n? So the numerator is asked. Divided by 48 is there. So the number should be 49, I believe. Yes, the answer is actually the number 49. Beautiful question, guys. Loved it, everyone? Yep. Awesome, Cuberhead, Santosh, Tiash, Unknown Spy, very good. I did not consider MD square. Okay, let me tell you, very important thing. Good you asked that. Very nice question. Sir, you did not use parallel axis theorem. Very good question, because many students in JEE Advanced will make this mistake. Think about it. What is the formula? That is why that formula is very important. It is mass of the body, position of the center of mass into velocity of the center of mass, which we have done perfectly correct. This over here is the angular momentum about the spin axis about the center of mass. This is not about the actual axis O. This is not the moment of inertia about O. This is about the center of mass. So that is the reason why when I found out the moment of inertia of the disk, where did it go? Here. Yeah, I just found it out about the center of mass axis. That's enough. You don't have to use parallel axis theorem anywhere. Got it? Okay, you can see my Pathfinder and Nurture series. You will see my wave classes. Understood? Lovely question, isn't it? The chance of silly mistake was there. Very good. Awesome. Awesome. Mahi, you can put up that question after the lecture ends, because then I can have a look at it. I don't want to break the flow. Okay, we have another beautiful question on pressure volume graph, and some gamma is given 1 by 3 raised to 0.6 is 0.5, log 2 is 0.7. All these data points are given. Following is correct. Work done, work done, work done, work done. Okay, and I think one more question is there, and then the answers are marked. The efficiency also of the cycle. Carnot engine is deleted for JEE Advanced. It is still there. But you will be like, sir, this is not even a Carnot engine. Yes, correct. It is not a Carnot engine. Carnot engine has the highest efficiency. But that should not stop us from finding the efficiency of any random PV cycle. because every cycle has its own efficiency. It's just that Carnot has the highest efficiency between two operating temperatures. Oh, okay. We'll come to that. For such questions, the best logic to apply is find out every single thing, like literally fill up the table. And when I say fill up the table, means what I say is from A to B, then from B to C, and then from C to A. Try to literally find out every single aspect. Try to find out every single aspect. What do I mean by every single aspect? Let me explain over here. Now, this is that entire cycle. I will ask you to find out the work. I will also ask you to find out the internal energy change. And remember, if I add both of them, what I should get is basically the heat supplied or absorbed in that process. In that cyclic process, eventually what happens is this entire delta U becomes zero, correct? This entire delta U is going to become zero because change in internal energy, it's a state function. You are coming back to the original state. So A, B, C, A, you will come back to zero. Next thing that I will also observe, A to B, I think is mentioned. What is mentioned? A to B is adiabatic, B to C is isothermal. A to B, where is it? Okay, A to B is basically adiabatic. Adiabatic. This is isothermal. This is isothermal. And C to A, you can see volume is constant. So it is basically isochoric in nature. This helps me at least figure out some of the variables. If it is adiabatic process, the heat absorbed or released will be zero. So from A to B, Q is zero. For isothermal process from B to C, change in the internal energy obviously will be zero. And for isochoric process, the work done will be zero. So C to A, no volume change, so no work done. So this simplifies. So simplifies a lot of things. Yeah. Is CBSE for free? What do you mean by CBSE is for free? Yeah. Omkaresh, there will be many series, many lectures, many videos which will come up for advanced. Now you have just begun. All right. This is just the beginning, my dear student. Oh, sir, finally. Okay, I understood. It's like solving a puzzle. There are some values which I have to fill in the table. Few things I already know. And I think from this, one of the options already is known. The magnitude of the work done in the process C to A is 0. So this D option definitely is the correct option. From C to A isochoric. So the work done definitely is a big fat 0 from C to A. Now, the main thing is if I find out these two, easily I can find all these things and I can fill up the table. It's very straightforward now. Okay, so let's do this. Let's find out the work done from A to B. Let's find out the work done from A to B. Remember, it is adiabatic process. Remember, it is an adiabatic process. So without the volume and pressures known to us, we cannot solve it. The volume is known here, but what about this volume? The volume at B is not known. So from A to B, here is what I will do. From A to B, observe carefully. P A VA raised to gamma is PB VB raised to gamma. Without this, we cannot solve the problem. Remember, we need the volumes to find out the work done. There is a separate formula for work done. Yep. Okay. So pressure at A is basically 100 kilopascals. Okay. Volume at A is basically 0.8 raised to gamma. I think gamma was also given to me. Gamma was 5 by 3 because it was monoatomic. So this is nothing but 5 by 3. PB is nothing but 300 multiplied by VB raised to 5 by 3. So from this, I will get VB by zero point 0.8 whole thing raised to 5 by 3. 0.8 is below. So 300 will go here. So it will become just 1 by 3. It will just become 1 by 3. So I think the next step should be to nothing but, I would say, just see whatever is given. Don't spam Asif Gamer. What do you mean by CBSE for free? It's not making sense what you're saying. I think there is something given. 1 by 3 raised to 0.6 is given. There is a deliberate reason why it is given. There is a deliberate reason why it is given, because if you take that 5 by 3 on the other side, it will become VB by 0.8 raised to 1 by 3 raised to 3 by 5. Correct? Which is nothing but 1 by 3 raised to 0.6, and 1 by 3 raised to 0.6 is already given to be 0.5. It's already given to be 0.5, so this is nothing but 0.5. So therefore VB by 0.8 is 0.5. Therefore VB will be 0.5 into 0.8. 8 5s are 40, so this is just going to be 4. This is just going to be 4. Sorry, 0.4. 0.4. Is that right, everybody? With me? Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Now, once I got VB is nothing but 0.4 meter cube, we can find out the work done as well. It's not that difficult. What's the work done formula? What's the work done formula? P1 V1 minus P2 V2 upon gamma minus 1, or P2 V2 minus P1 V1 upon 1 minus gamma, whichever is comfortable for you. So I can write it as PA P1 V1 minus P2 V2 upon gamma minus 1 PA. Okay, check this out. What is PA? PA is nothing but 100 kilo. Okay, 100 kilo. So 10 to the power 3 into VA. VA is basically 0.8 minus PB, which is nothing but 300 into 10 to the power 3 into volume B is nothing but 0.4 whole thing divided by gamma, which is 5 by 3, and this is minus 1. 10 to the power 3, you can definitely take it outside, and you have over here 100 into 0.8, which is just going to make it 80, and over here you have 0.4 into basically 300, which is going to make it, yeah, just check this out. Yes. Okay. So this is just going to make it 120, and this will be 5 by 3 minus 1, which is 5 minus 3, which is 2, and divided by 3. Just check this out. Everybody with me? Yeah. What is it that you are getting then? What is it that you are getting? Come on, my dear students. 120 minus 80, that's 40. 40 by 2, that's 20. 20 into 3, that's 60, but with a negative sign. And everything had 10 to the power 3 over here. So minus 60 into 10 to the power 3, which is minus 60 kilojoules. Oh, so we got this particular answer. A to B is minus 60 kilojoules. But their sum should be 0. So delta U will be plus 60 kilojoules. But their sum should be 0 vertically. Hence, 60, this is 0. So this should be minus 60 kilojoules. If this is 0, this is minus 60. Hence, this will be minus 60 kilojoules. See, automatically table starts filling up. Automatically the table starts filling up. So many things we got to know. If I know this and this, I can find this and this. The whole table gets filled now. So for B to C, we have to solve. For B to C, now we have to solve. Okay, let's try to solve for B to C. Now, B to C process. B to C process is a isothermal process. Do not forget that. B to C process is nothing but isothermal process. So, already this particular volume, I know it. This is 0.4. So, to find that work done, all I need to do is nRT log V2 by V1, matlab means VC by VB, but I don't know the temperature. So I can just say it is nothing but either PB VB or PC VC. So anything will be fine. Let's say I do PB VB into log of VC by VB, VC by VB. That's all. So pressure B is nothing but 300 kilo, that is 10 to the power 3. Volume at B, that is 0.4 meter cube, into log of VC by VB. VC volume C is 0.8. This is basically 0.4. So This is nothing but 120 into 10 to the power 3 multiplied by log of 2. I think log of 2 they have already mentioned over here. Log of 2 is 0.7, my dear students. Log of 2 is basically 0.7. So 120 multiplied by 10 by 3 into zero point 0.7. How much is this going to come out to be? Come on, guys. How much is this going to come out to be? Yes, 12 sevens are 84. So this is just going to be 84 into 10 to the power 3. That means kilojoules. 84 kilojoules. Perfect. So let's start substituting that as well. Work done is 84 plus it is kilojoules. So if this is 84 plus 0, this will be also 84 kilojoules. Add them up, you will get the total work done in the cycle. Yes, minus 60 plus 84, that is going to be 24 kilojoules. And if this is 24, obviously heat will also be 24 kilojoules. Is this right, everybody? Very good. So let's try to fill up the options now. The magnitude of the work done in the entire process A to B to C is 144. This is 100% wrong. The total work done in the cycle is 24, not 144. So definitely A option is incorrect. The work in the process B to C is 84. B to C, is it? B to C, let's see. B to C is 84. Perfect. B to C is 84. Yes, this is correct. The work done from A to B is 60. A to B, let's try to see if it is correct. Yes, A to B is minus 60, but they have asked the magnitude. They have asked the magnitude. So yes, C option is also correct. So B, C, D is the correct answer. Let's check it out. Yep, perfect. B, C, D are the correct options. What a lovely question till here. But that is not the end of the story. I think there was one more problem over here, and the problem was to find the efficiency of the cycle, which we have not yet found out. So let's do it in that next step. How do we find out the efficiency? Now remember, whenever you want to find the efficiency of the cycle, it is always the net work which is done, the net work which is done upon the heat which is absorbed, the whole thing into 100, that will be in percentage. So how much is that going to be? How much is that going to be? Let's see. The net work done is clearly 24 kilojoules. Very good. What is the heat absorbed? Here it is 0, here it is plus, here it is minus. This is what is absorbed. This negative sign says it is basically released. It is basically released. Only consider the positive heat, not the total heat, or else it will be 24 by 24, which is 1, which is 100%. So guys, this should be basically just 84 kilojoules. Kilojoules, joules cancels. So approximately how much will be the efficiency, guys? Quickly calculate this. Yeah, it is not W by Q. Just remember it is work total by heat absorbed. Because if you just remember W by Q, is it this work or this work or total work? Is it this heat, this heat, this heat, or the total heat? So that is the reason why don't just memorize the formulas, know it properly. Yes, Tiash, it will continue, but we will be having a small break during the boards. Please understand that. Okay. So how much is this coming out to be? Come on, my dear students, just see how much is the answer. The answer that I have got close to is 28.57. 28.57%. So the efficiency is close to 28.57%. Not that great, but okay. So only 28% is converted into useful work. Rest is just released to the surrounding. Yep, very good. Perfecto. Awesome. Awesome. Unknown spy. Lovely. Lovely, Vanilla. I think you made a calculation mistake. Unknown, sorry, Darshana. Just check it out. Maybe a factor of 2, I guess. Okay. Now, yes. Oh, there is a beautiful optics question that I can see now. This is also a very nice, splendid question, especially for JEE advanced level. It's combining ray optics with interference. That is why it is splendid. And the way it combines, there is a big chance, not a big, rather many chances of anybody committing many silly mistakes in this question. That's why it is a very critical must-do question, even though you might have solved this way, way before. there is some interference pattern which is observed on the screen of yellow color light by a billet split lens. Now, what is a billet split? Billet split means if you take a lens, cut it exactly in the middle, when you cut it here, each part will have the same focal length. Now remember, in JEE Mains, this question came. You are breaking a lens into 2 parts or 4 parts. What is the power? Right? And we saw that the power will not be affected if you cut it horizontally, but if you cut it vertically, then the power will get divided equally. So we have seen that concept, but we have also seen separately Young's double slit experiment. Now these both are combined together and see how big this problem becomes. Now what is happening once you cut the lens into 2 halves, obviously their powers and focal length will not be affected, only the intensity of the light will become reduced, and you have created a small gap over here. The halves are separated by a gap of 0.06 mm. So they are not touching, there is a small gap. Now that gap is what is going to make that big difference. There is going to be a fringe pattern on the screen. Now I know you might be thinking, why the hell will there be a fringe pattern? Yeah. Selected questions, or if time permits, all the questions from HCB, finally PYQs, how much marks? Omkarish, just do one thing. All your answers will be over here. I'll tell you. Just see all these things, no? You will have clarity. Where did it go? Where did it go? JEE Advanced 2025, February to May, complete roadmap. I have almost taken this session for 35-36 minutes and I have covered it in proper detail, right from material, resources, method, when to do what, etc. Proper roadmap I have given with high weightage topics which you must study. Okay, just see all your answers will be here, but still if there is something unanswered, just leave a comment after today's video. I will definitely help you out. Okay, now coming back to this particular problem, what exactly shall we do? Okay, see, let me just come back to this particular diagram. Let me just create a duplicate. What happens just because I have created this particular gap? Well, I can see that this source will now be an object for this lens. This source will also be an object for this lens. It will create images. But won't the images coincide? Oh no, I don't think so. Reason is, observe, now the principal axis has been shifted. Yeah, the principal axis has been shifted. Look at this. This is the principal axis. I don't know whether you're able to see it clearly, but yes. 1 second. This is the principal axis, my dear warriors, and this is another principal axis. So now there are 2 principal axes. Oh, so for that, what happens is, treat this like an object here and treat another object here. Are you able to visualize what I'm just saying? There is, for the lower principal axis, there is an object here. Think of it like that. And similarly for the upper one, think as if there is an object like this, because this source is our object. The source is our object, and these are our 2 principal axes. These are our 2 principal axes. Do not forget, our lenses can be considered to be here and over here. Our lenses can be considered to be somewhere here, right? Exactly dividing it into half. Oh, so if that is the case, observe now carefully. You can think of one of the half lens to be here and another half lens to be here. This object will make an image. This object will make an image. That 2 images will become coherent, and these 2 sources will act like slits, and thus there will be an interference pattern, and hence there will be an interference pattern. How many of you understood this now? How many of you understood, my dear warriors? Clear? Pakka? Excellent. So first, fringe width is the total height of the images. Correct. I need to see what the object distance, image distance, everything is. So for the lens, the object is object is basically at negative 24 centimeters. The focal length is plus 15 centimeters. So 1 by V minus 1 by U is minus 24, is 1 by 15. Therefore, 1 by V will be 1 by 15 minus is plus, goes on the other side as minus again. Therefore, how much will this be? How much will this be? Come on, my dear warriors. Come on, my dear warriors. See how much will this be? Yep. So this will be 24 minus 15. This will be 15 multiplied by 24. Yep. Perfecto. Isn't it? So this will be 9 and this will be 15 and this will be 24. This goes with 3. 5 times this goes with 3. Again, this will be 8 times, so it will be 1 by 40. So therefore, V will be plus V will be plus 40 centimeters. But don't stop over there. Try to do one small step, and that is the magnification. That is going to help you a lot. So the magnification is V by U formula. V is 40, U is minus 24. And this magnification, do not forget, it is the height of image by height of object. So height of image, I don't know, but this is the object height. How much will be the object height? Quickly think and tell me. How much will be the object height? As it is clearly mentioned that the distance between these two principal axes, the distance between these two principal axes is 0.06 millimeters, because that's the separation between the lenses. So the height of the object will be point will be 0.03 millimeter, 0.03 millimeter, and even this would be 0.03 millimeter. 0303 will make it 06. So the height that I'm going to substitute over here is going to be 0.03. This will be 40 divided by minus 25. Therefore, what would be the height of the image? What would be the height of this particular, sorry, I put 25, it is 24. So sorry, it's 24. 24, my maths, so sorry. Yeah, 24 goes with 3, 8 times, 40 by 8, 5 times. So I think it will be 0.05 minus 0.05 millimeters. Just check this out. That's the height of the image. That's the height of the image. Yeah, we'll be doing second shift questions also. Very good. Okay, very good. Awesomeness, awesomeness, awesomeness. Very good. Till this point, everybody clear? Very good. Now, what you will do? Now, what you will do? Observe carefully. If this image is negative in height, means it is inverted. So if the object is below the principal axis, it will come above. If the object is above, it will come below. So the first image, because of the upper lens, will be at 0.05 millimeters. So this is image 1. And the next image, again inverted, if the object is on the top, the image will be over here. This is where the image I2 will be at 0.05 millimeters. These both I1 and I2, what will they act as? These both I1 and I2, what do you think they will act as, my dear students? I1 and I2 will act like your secondary sources, and basically like your slits, like the slits of your Young's double slit experiment. Is this absolutely clear? Is this absolutely clear? Oh, so that means the distance between the slits will be this plus this plus this. Many people forget to add this 0.06. They just multiply 0.05 two times. No, it is 0.05 plus 0.06 plus 0.05. Is this absolutely clear? Why the distance between the slits, small d, is the sum of all the three things? Absolutely clear? Very good. So how much is it going to come out to be? How much is it going to come out to be? 0.05 plus 0.05, it is 0.1. So it will be 0.16. 0.16 millimeters, which is 1.6. 10 to the power minus 4, because this 1.6 will become, okay, you have to shift the decimal, so minus 4 meters. I have to convert it into meters to get the answer also in meters. But that's not all. There is one more catch. Like I said, the chances of making silly mistakes are immense, huge. So observe carefully now. Observe carefully now. The images are here. That means the screen to slit distance won't be 200. I have to take that into account. So capital D, because the images have come closer. Now this is 200, this is 24. What will capital D be? Think about it. So images are formed at a distance of 40 centimeter from the lens. So it will be 200 minus 24 minus 40. Got it? Why minus 24 minus 40? Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Yes, very good. Awesome. Everybody understood this? Everybody understood this? Excellent. Because this is 200, this is 24, the images are formed here. So the slits are going to be basically here. The slits are basically going to be here. This is image 1, this is your image 2, and this is 40. So 200 minus 24 minus 40, that's what the distance between the slits and the screen, capital D, will be. So this will be 64. Yes, so 200 minus 64, that's 136. So 136 centimeter, which is 1.36 meter. Now comes our final answer now. So the final answer is fringe width. So final answer is basically our fringe width. So fringe width will be lambda capital D by small d. Lambda is 6000 Angstrom. So 6000 into 10 to the power minus 10 multiplied by 1.36, the whole thing divided by small d, which is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 4. Solving this, obviously you are going to get fringe width. I think the answer comes out to be 5.1 millimeter. Just check this out. So beta comes out to be 5.1 10 to the power negative 3 meter, which is 5.1 millimeter. That is the answer. Did you all love this question? Yeah? Did you all love this question? Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Awesomeness. 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 Perfect. Let's go ahead to the next amazing question, which we have on blocks, which we have on blocks, which we have on blocks. And if you have forgotten to smash that like button, please do it right away, right now. Yes, do it right away, right now. Perfect. As you can see over here, there are two blocks kept over each other, block on block friction questions, which are obviously advanced level questions. There is one block here, one block here. Find the acceleration if block B is replaced with a new block. What shall be the minimum mass so that block C and D accelerate in the opposite direction, and all these things. Okay, so how do we do these kind of questions? First of all, my dear students, clearly it is mentioned, find the acceleration of the block C. You do not know whether C and D will go separate because of the situation given, or will they move together. But for such questions, when questions are on block, you have to start with an assumption. Either you basically assume that both are moving together and see whether the friction is enough to hold it, or you assume both are moving separately and then prove that it is not the correct thing. Either one of them. Okay, so either you basically show that they are moving together, or you show that they are moving separately and try to find a flaw in it. If there is a flaw, that means whatever you have assumed is not correct. Usually what works is try to prove that they are going together, and if you find a flaw, then obviously they are moving separately. All right, so let's assume that's our starting part. Let's basically assume, let's just assume, this is just an assumption, C and D are moving together. C and D are basically moving to basically together. Is this point clear? Okay. A theory session, just watch my old mains classes. Awesome, Kavian. Great. Now, If they are moving together, what are the forces and everything? Let's try to figure it out. First of all, this 3 kg block will experience 3g force down. There will be, let's say, one tension, one here. This will have some acceleration here. This will have some another tension. Let's say we call it T2. This will have 0.5 g weight over here. This will experience tension 1 over here, and I forgot that acceleration upwards. This will experience tension 2 here. They are moving together, so the friction between them is an internal force. But do not forget, as they accelerate this way, then there will be a friction at the ground surface. And I think that friction coefficient is given. I think the friction between the table and the block D is 0.2. So 100% there will be another frictional force which will prevent their sliding. So that friction will be definitely present, which will be 0.2 multiplied by that normal force. 0.2 multiplied by normal force. Yes, mu2 is given to be 0.2. Is this point clear? Absolutely, everyone? Okay. Welcome, Darshan. Now, what is that normal force? What is that normal force? You can see 3 and 1.5 together will be nothing but 4.5 into G. So that force will be nothing but 0.2 into 4.5 G. G is basically 10. So 0.2's decimal will shift to 2. So 2 into 4.5, which will just make it 9 newtons. So 9 Newton is the frictional force. 9 Newton is basically the frictional force till this point. Everyone clear? So let's start writing down the equations, starting off with block A separately, then for C and D together, and then for what is that block number B separately. What are the equations? For block A, 3g minus T1 will be mass multiplied by acceleration. For these two together, T1 minus frictional force minus T2 will be equal to the total mass, which is 4.5 kg multiplied by acceleration. For this block, T2 will be more because it is going up. So T2 minus 0.5 g will be 0.5 multiplied by A. The next step obviously is to add all of them. Reason being T2, T2 cancels, T1, T1 also will cancel. So the moment you're just going to add them, this T2 will cancel with this will cancel with this. You just have these numbers over here. See, what are you going to get? This will be 3g minus 9 minus 0.5g will be 3a plus 4.5a plus 0.5a. Is that right? From this, you can start solving, my dear students. What is it that you are going to get? What is it that you are going to get? Yes. Okay. Kaveri, which shop? Some stones, gemstones shop. You will definitely get this bracelet. Okay. This bracelet, you will get it from some gemstone shop. Okay. The solutions are there, but it is not necessarily video solutions. But if you are in the Ekalavya batch, then we discuss the video. I mean, we give you the solutions for the questions which you ask. So that is the advantage of Ekalavya, where you have access to any question in a video form also. But with the rank accelerator book alone, you don't get really the video solutions. All right. Okay. Next important thing. Yeah, solve this, guys, and see what is it that you're getting. See what is it that you're getting. It is 30 minus 9 minus 5 is equal to 0.5 plus 4.55. 5 plus 3 is 8. So this will be basically 8a. See what is it that you are getting, my dear students. What is the acceleration that you are getting approximately? Yeah, come on. What is it that you are getting? Acceleration. Yes, this will be nothing but 16. So 16 is equal to 8a. Therefore, acceleration is basically 2 meters per second square. But will you directly mark and say, oh, acceleration is 2? Do not do that. Now comes the most important part, and that is the checking part. Let's check. You have to check whether our assumption is correct or not. So for that, draw the free body diagram of any one of the blocks. Let's say I draw the free body diagram of that block labeled example C. And I know now that this block labeled C has an acceleration assumption based 2 meters per second square. There is a tension 1 over here. and obviously there is going to be a friction over here. There is going to be a friction over here. That's it. So there is T1, there is friction, and there is acceleration. Can I find the value of T1? Definitely. From this particular equation, just check this out. So 3 into G means 30 minus T1 is 3 multiplied by 2. So therefore T1 will be, check this out, 3 2s are 6. So 30 minus 6, 30 minus 6, which is 24 Newton. So tension 1 is 24 Newton, which I got to know from before. From this, you can find the acceleration. Friction. This is basically 3 kg. Okay, let's write down the equations now. So T1 minus friction is equal to mass multiplied by acceleration. Therefore, 24 minus F is equal to 3 multiplied by 2. Therefore, the friction is 24 minus 6, which is basically 18 Newton. Now, the friction between the blocks, this is basically between C and D block. This is between the C and D block, is 18 Newton. What are you going to check from this? Check if it is less than Fs max. Remember, it is already mentioned between C and D, the friction is this is 0.7. Yep. So the Fs max, the maximum frictional force which you can get is mu s into n. Mu s is 0.7. The normal force is 3g. G is 10. 10 into 0.7 is 7. 7 threes are 21 Newton. That's the maximum force which you can exert frictionally, friction-wise. And the best part, this 18 Newton is less than Fs max, which is 21 Newton. So we are safe. Yes, this is perfectly fine. Yep. So whatever assumption is correct. Assumption is correct because there is no slip. Assumption is correct. There is nothing wrong because there is no slip now. There is going to be no slip which is going to occur because friction is lesser than the limiting value. Hence, this acceleration is correct. Without this check, you cannot proceed. Hence, the acceleration of this particular block C will be 2 meters per second square. 2 meters per second square. Is this clear? Everyone? Okay, very good. Okay. Now, how will you do this part? Can you get, I will give it to you as a homework, guys. This is going to be your homework question. Let me tell you that. Yes, this is going to be your homework question. Yep, this part B is going to be your homework question. You're going to put up the answers in the comment section below. How much should be the block B's mass such that the C and D or accelerate in the opposite direction? Which means what will you do? The friction. So by the way, first of all, this mass will no longer be 0.5 kg. This mass will no longer be 0.5 kg. This is just going to be some mkg. This is going to be just some mkg. And what you will see over here is that the friction will be Fs max, which means it will be 21 Newton. Only then they will be on the verge of splitting apart, they will be on the verge of slipping. So basically, I will say C and D on the verge of slip. That is the reason why there will be Fs max. Redo the entire question now. Assuming it is Fs max, you will get the answer. Got it, everyone? Yep. Everybody understood how to solve this question? Everybody understood how to solve that particular question? Give me a thumbs up, guys. C and D, yes, it will be Fs max. So this is your hint. Now try it out. Answer should be in the comments, guys. Answer should be in the comments. So this is your 3 kg block. This is your 1.5 kg block, which is your D block. And then you will see that probably block C will experience 21. Block D will experience 21 here. And there will be T2 over here. And obviously there will be T1 over here. this will have some acceleration, this will have some acceleration. The accelerations also won't be the same. Yep, the accelerations also won't be the same. Keep that in mind. And these blocks which are there, A, which is of 3 kg, and B, which is of some m kg. This is how it will be. And this will be your new free body diagram going down with A1. And this is basically your mg, and this is basically your T2. Now try to solve this. Now try to solve this. And there is, of course, one force which will still be there, which is of your frictional force, which is of your frictional force. Yep, if D slides that way, then the friction on D will be like this. Friction on D will be basically like this. And that value we have already found to be 9 newtons. That value we have already found out to be 9 newtons. Okay, perfect. So solve it like that and you will get the answer. Okay. Delhi, please don't spam. Don't spam. So I have given you the big hint. I'm pretty sure after this free body diagram, you will be able to solve this particular question and give it in the comment section. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. So then we have the next question, which is as homework. This is on magnetic field at this particular point due to this wire carrying current like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. Beautiful diagram. Current is going in a weird way and you have to find out the magnetic field at point O. This is the second homework question. The answer will be there in the comment section. So do not forget to, answer it in the comment section. The solution, everything will be also there in the PDF, which I will be putting it in the description box. So I hope, my dear students, you enjoyed this particular session a lot and you have opened up some new or unlocked some new concepts and you are able to think differently. And if you want me to continue, please smash the like button. If you want us to take more such advanced classes, because I will tell you, advanced people are very less. So, I want everybody to be motivated, or else if you do not support this particular video, then we'll think, okay, you're not interested in advance. So if you want such quality content, please like, share this with all your friends and comment below. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great time. And if some of you want to solve more such questions, there is also this particular book called as the JEE Advanced Rank Accelerator. It is separately there for physics, chemistry, and maths. Yes, all different types of questions are there with answers in 2 categories, JEE Advanced and beyond JEE Advanced, to make you think even more. All right. And yes, you can buy this particular book even right now as you're watching this particular video. The link is there again in the description box. Yes, it is there in the description box. You will see Eklavya batch includes that book. It is for advanced training along with this particular rank accelerator books. Yep. And if you just want that rank accelerator book, just click on this link. It will open up. You can get it shipped. It's for 1,665, a collection of 3 books. These questions are not available anywhere in any other book. They are not PYQs. They are beyond PYQs, non-PYQ questions, which are completely different, which will make you think. And this is what our toppers have been using. Cool? So check out that link and order it right now. Bye-bye. Take care.